try to relax my face. Is that what it is? Like, how's this? Say something like that.
All right, is this good? Is there anything on your teeth? Yeah? All right, let's do this.
Close your eyes, let me tell you all the reasons why.
So he had seen pictures of me on Facebook through a mutual friend.
And she was on a hunting trip, and that was one thing I've been looking for, is a girl that's interested in the outdoors.
I found this out later that he had said, oh, I want to meet that girl.
We had a church event at her house. I went over there.
And I saw him from across the room and I was like, oh, he's cute.
Our eyes kind of met, and then that's when we felt the electricity, and we just kind of merged towards one another and started talking. And I was impressed. She gave me a firm handshake right away.
And so I get a Facebook request from him. Like 2 weeks later, I started looking through his photos, and I had this weird feeling, like this flash of us old, like grandparents, and I was like, oh my gosh.
Didn't even meet her other than that one time at her house, and I felt like we were together already.
We just knew that we were going to be together forever.
Cause you're made of strength and mercy.
It was our first date. It was duck hunting. Neither of us had duck hunted before. No makeup on, mosquito bites everywhere. My lips are raw because I don't have any skin on them from the DEET. And I looked at him and I could tell he was looking at me funny. I was like, well, it can only go uphill from here.
Andrea will tell you it took forever for me to finally kiss her.
We're in the swamp. It's awfully smelly. All you can see is like our eyes. We're like in 6 inches of muck, mosquitoes everywhere. Smells awful.
She wanted me to be the man, and I finally was.
He leaned over and like kissed me through my hunting mask.
All we tasted was bug spray. But since it was our first kiss, like, we didn't care.
It wasn't successful in terms of duck hunting, but definitely successful for us.
Very early on, even in our text messages and phone conversations, we talk about God and things we want to see Him do in our lives.
I really feel like this is a direct gift from God that He said, you know, thank you for, you know, following my path, and all of a sudden, here comes this amazing man.
God definitely brought us together, of how our timing all worked out.
We believe that He brought us together, and there's really no other explanation for that.
And we'd really start talking about our faith, and we realized how important it was to one another.
You know, we were both Christians beforehand, but just over this past year, really getting deeper and just seeing the growth in him and in myself that reflects, you know, to others, and how we treat people and how we communicate. So that's something that I see as progressing in, but definitely a cornerstone of our relationship.
Love at first sight. Definitely love at first sight.
I don't think I ever believed in that before.
You usually have like chemistry with somebody, and you'll have like a flame, and it's there for a little while, but with Andrea, it's been there throughout this whole year.
Because there's just that connection, and it doesn't make sense, and it's from, I mean, that first time when I saw the photos of him on Facebook.
That's how I know, like, we're really crazy about each other, because I'm always on her mind and she's always on my mind.
Now, you know, we have a year under our belt, and it's obviously different, but it's deeper.
She doesn't even have to tell me she loves me. It's just I look in her eyes and there's such a sparkle there that I see. PG or rated R?
What makes him sexy? What doesn't?
Now I'm feeling awkward.
Definitely the abs, his back muscles, he has really pretty eyes.
My favorite part about Andrea is definitely her eyes.
What else did he say?
One of my other favorite body parts about Andrea is her butt. Her long legs, I like those too.
I'm a hands person, so he has really strong hands and man hands, because I have this phobia of like very small forearms and tiny hands, like T-Rexes.
Never call each other by our first names.
I call him my Steady Eddie, and he calls me his ginger spark plug.
The other one I call her is Gingy Monster, because she can't be contained. Like when she gets undressed, her clothes just go everywhere. My plan was to do it at a church event for skeet shooting.
Matt was being weird, and I was like, what is your problem? Like, what is wrong? Like, why are you being weird?
Would just pretend everybody was there, you know, just shooting, having a good time.
A couple of the girls come over and they're like, hey, Andrew, we want to see you shoot.
I waited until she was up shooting, so I could sneak up on her.
And then I turn around and he's like down on his knee.
The first words out of her mouth were,
Shut your face.
"Shut your face." And I was like, that's romantic.
Obviously I wasn't mad anymore.
Just started crying instantly.
It was great that he was able to surprise me.
But to spend next year getting to know one another better. But after that, more long term.
I would say in the next 5 years, we'll have kids, which is crazy for me to say. Anyone that knows me, by kids I mean 2, hopefully a boy and a girl, and then we want to adopt one.
To definitely have a business in the future, whether it's with real estate, flipping houses. Andrea, she's a hot shot and wants to be CEO, so she's probably gonna have her own business.
Build stuff, fix things, so we want to renovate some houses. We want to go around Texas and the surrounding states and find antiques and refurbish them or make them into art. But really, our goals are just to live humbly and really save for a ranch in the future.
Andrea is so intelligent. That's one of the things I love about her. She's very career-driven and brings a passion that not many people have. I don't get to do any comedy shots,